if I'm not mistaken, there was a few trades that went down this offseason. And lucky for us, we have the NFL.com up here with the great Tom Blair, and he went over the top 10 traded players and who will make the biggest impact in 2024.
Yeah, so we'll go over these 10 players who are traded. And if you weren't following the NFL in the offseason, maybe you're one of those people who's a casual who just watches on Sunday. You just watch your team. Maybe you weren't aware your team acquired one of these players. We're here to recap it, break it down. And let's start off with this list here. And at number one, we have Stephon Diggs traded by the Buffalo Bills for a second round pick with Houston. And now the not the Buffalo Bills, the Houston Texans have Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon in the backfield as well. And they re signed Dalton Schultz here at tight end. Do you think this deserves to be the most impactful trade of the offseason?
Yeah, I think so because with how good they were last year, plus with the additions they had in free agency prior to this move, Stephon Diggs potentially brings them to that level where maybe they're not the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think they're the second best team in the AFC after this move with that solid number one. So I think number one, Stephon Diggs, I think that's inevitable.
Yeah, and I think especially with the division you're in right now, there's still uncertainty, Like the North is still the North where the Steelers, no matter who's the quarterback, they find a way to be good and they find a way to beat each other up in that division. The Ravens are there, the Browns, even with Jameis Winston or Deshaun Watson, we'll see, but they can still give any team in the NFL a tough time on any given Sunday. Whereas the Titans, you kind of look at them side eyes. You're like, Brian Callen, we don't know. Or Brian Callahan, not the comedian Brian Callen. And then we have also the Titan. We have the Jaguars there, who are very disappointing last year. We'll see if their
Always
draft pans
disappointing.
out, but we know how they draft players based off of their arms, not their talent. And then we also have the Colts, who are also a question mark if Anthony Richardson's going to stay healthy. You don't have Gardner Minshew there, so I think with the Bengals kind of being in a little bit of we don't know what's going on with T. Higgins or Trey Hendrickson, who are arguably two of our top five players on our team. It's like you are right there for being the best team in the league, not named the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's why that move is so impactful. And I think we're going to see it pay dividends this offseason. I think they're going to make the AFC title game.
Yeah, and then we have at number two here another wide receiver, but this time it's the Chicago Bears, and it's someone named Keenan Allen from the Chargers. They have this as the second most important trade.
I mean, we'll see how this ranks it. I feel like number two might be a little high. However, with this trade with Keenan Allen, this makes it important for the fact that now you have DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, and then they inevitably drafted Romeo Odunze. So I guess bolstering that wide receiver core, which has been lacking for ever at this
Yeah.
point. So, I mean, I don't know if it's the second most impactful, but if we're looking at just impactful, definitely a great move. Fourth round pick for Keenan Allen. That was a steal.
You know how it's impactful? It's not necessarily on the field with Keenan Allen, especially because he's getting older. And I think he will be very productive this year, especially with DJ Moore taking pressure off of him. Finally, you have another receiver who can stay healthy, unlike Mike Williams. And then you also have Cole Kmet, who's going to take so much pressure off of him because he is a luxury, the most underrated tight end in the NFL. And you have Romeo Odunze there, but you also have a young receiver in Romeo Odunze, DJ Moore, who's kind of been trying to channel his inner top number one definitive wide receiver. And you have Cole Kmet there, who's still a pretty young player. So what this does, you bring leadership into that wide receiver room. You have a veteran presence who can counsel Romeo Dunze. You also have a veteran leader in that wide receiver room in the offensive meetings with Caleb Williams. And I think this also helps bring in a good mix of we have someone kind of at the end of their career in Keenan Allen, in the middle of their career in DJ Moore, and someone at the start of their career in Romeo Dunze. And what everyone has said about Romeo Dunze is he is the hardest working wide receiver in the draft. He's going to study the hardest of any receiver. And I think if Keenan Allen can help channel that, I think that's where the impact is really going to come.
Yeah, I think so for sure. So I think that's an important move right there.
And then this is where the list has a problem. Number three, Jerry Judy. Absolutely not. The Browns didn't need him to begin with.
I mean, I guess 5th and 6th rounders, that's about right for Jerry Jeudy. I need to know this here because clearly, somebody who's obviously a casual, comments call me it every week. What has Jerry Jeudy done in the NFL? Has he even had a 1,000-yard season? If he's had 1,000 yards, it's 1,010 yards. Congratulations. I understand you've been in the living hell that is Denver, Colorado, but at the same time, you haven't done anything.
Yeah.
Like, at your best, you're probably a third wide receiver on this team because you have Amari Cooper, you have Elijah Moore, and then hell, you even have David Njoku and Nick Chubb when he comes back. So where does Jerry Jeudy fit in the mix, and how is he going to impact the Browns? Because I really don't think it's going to move the needle all that much.
Yeah, how is he better than Amari Cooper? And then you also have DJ Moore on that team who's better than him. So I guess he's if you're replacing Donovan Peoples Jones, great.
Okay.
Great replacement for Donovan Peoples Jones. Other than that, Jerry Judy's a 3, and you gave up a 5th and a 6th round pick for him. But the third most important trade of the offseason, when most people could sneeze and have more of an impact on the field than Jerry Judy, if they got their corner, they were going up against sick. Like, that's more of an impact than Jerry Judy.
Yeah, I don't see him moving the needle much at all for Cleveland. They're still pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah, because my biggest problem with this is you put Jerry Judy at number 3 above Brian Burns, who was probably the most sought after defender available this offseason, right? Who also, you want to talk about the Panthers making the worst deals in NFL history? You didn't even have to give up a first round pick for him.
Yeah, you're talking about 2 years ago when the Rams were offering not 1, not 2, but 3 first-round picks. They say, no, we're going to sign him. And then Brian Burns says, no, you're not. You're not going to sign me. So then they give up and get a 2nd and 5th round pick for Brian Burns. The Giants absolutely finessed them out of their pennies. Almost, keyword almost, for giving him for Daniel Jones. That's going to be way more impactful. The Giants defense should be a lot better, especially because they have Bobby Okereke on that team and Kayvon Thibodeau. I'm excited to see how that team goes.
Yeah. And you have, like, unfortunately, Daniel Jones is on this team, so it's not really going to matter that you acquired Brian Burns, but it's still more important than Jerry Jeudy.
Anybody's more important than Jerry Jeudy
Yeah.
at this point.
Hence our number 5 person on this list, L'Jarius Sneed. I don't know, a top 3, maybe the best corner in the NFL right now.
Yeah, and they got him for not really that much. They got a 3rd round pick in 2025, a late round pick this year, and that was it.
Not a late round pick, a 7th round pick.
Yeah, so they got literally the last round in this draft, and then next year they get a 3rd round pick. Very cool. Not very much at all for somebody who is one of the top defensive players in the league.
Yeah, for a Titans team who really needed some help in the secondary this year. And now it's a team that's starting to rebuild and put some pieces back together. You're bringing in, I don't know, a winner into your locker room, someone who has seen the Chiefs operate, who can go to Brian Callahan, someone who went toe to toe with the Bengals. So now you're bringing in Chiefs culture and Bengals culture to the same organization. Tremendous combination.
Yes.
Tremendous.
Bravo. And they signed Tyler Boyd, which is cool, I guess.
Tyler Boyd's cool, I guess, yeah. And then someone more impactful than Jerry Jeudy at number 3 for some reason he was there. We have Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick. So already these people, we have 3 defensive players in a row who are more impactful than Jerry Jeudy. This is not meant to destroy Jerry Jeudy, but Jerry Jeudy had no business being as high as he was.
Yeah, it's not our fault that. Let me see.
They put him 3rd, I think.
Yeah.
They put him 3rd. 3rd most impactful. That's crazy.
Yeah, shame on you, Tom Blair.
Tom Blair. Tom Boob is what we call him.
Tom Boob. And then also someone more important than Jerry Jeudy, Carlton Davis, who I think is more impactful than Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick really wasn't giving the Eagles the extra juice that they needed because they had one of the worst pass rushes in the NFL at the end of the year last year. So you're bringing him onto a Jets team who, I mean, he'll be like okay for them, but it's like the same equivalent as having Mike Williams on offense, and then you have Hassan Reddick. But Carlton Davis to the Detroit Lions, that's going to be way more impactful because not only did they draft 2 corners, now you bring in a veteran corner to a very secondary needy team. I think this is way more impactful than Carlton Davis.
Yeah, I think so too. their secondary was their big hole last year. They got Terry and Arnold in the draft, and they get Carlton Davis, along with all these other players that they have drafted the last 2 years, growing and develop. So I think that's a home run pick for them. I think he's going to make a big impact.
Yeah, and then at number 8, we have Malik Collins going to the San Francisco 49ers. It's really a big deal because you traded a 7th round pick for him. You get some more depth, but again, this is really just a case of the rich getting richer.
Yeah, I mean, how much does this move the needle for the 49ers? I don't think too much, but does make them better.
Yeah, my question is, does it help Kyle Shanahan understand that if everyone talks about how great you are at running the football, if you are really great at running the football and have the best running back in the NFL, maybe if you have a lead, you should run the football to drain the clock? I don't know. Crazy thought, but
And also, if you're a head coach in the NFL, know the overtime rules, right? Against, I don't know, the greatest quarterback of our generation.
yeah,
Just a thought.
just a thought.
Maybe they traded that with the 7th round pick. Who knows?
Oh, we still would have taken the ball anyways. Bullshit. I
What
call
a lie.
buffoonery. That's a lie.
Bonafide buffoon.
And then we have Deontay Johnson of the Carolina Panthers, also more impactful than Jerry Jeudy going to the Browns. Because not only do the Panthers not have receivers outside of Adam Thielen, God bless his soul, prayer to Adam Thielen rotting away in Carolina, but the Browns already had receivers, and Deontay Johnson is better than Jerry Jeudy. Sorry, he is.
Yeah, Deontay Johnson's better. Now they actually have a pretty solid wide receiver. Deontay Johnson's a nice player. And now you have him and Adam Thielen. You still have a bad receiver core, but now it's better. So improving it, whereas Jerry Jeudy didn't really do much to improve the Browns wide receiver room. So the Jerry Jeudy roast continues.
Yeah, Jerry Jeudy roast continues, and then also someone more impactful than Jerry Jeudy, Justin Fields to the Pittsburgh Steelers because they really didn't trade anything for him. A
Yeah.
2025 conditional day 3 pick. Okay.
Bummer.
My one thing is, and we haven't really talked about this that much, the Steelers are trying to use him as like a kick returner. They're trying to integrate him as like a Taysom Hill player. They're saying Russell Wilson is their guy. I'm a little bit confused about this because if you watched last season, is Russell Wilson a better quarterback and better at reading the field than Justin Fields? Yeah, probably. But does Justin Fields give you way more explosive plays, way more big play opportunity downfield, and make the defense a lot more nervous than going up against Russell Wilson, who can't really do much down the field anymore? I think so.
Yeah, I feel like if they can use him, I feel like Taysom Hill might actually work for him because in his 4 years as the Bears quarterback, he hasn't been able to read the field very well. So he's not really a threat throwing it down the field, but he's more of a threat running it. So if they can find a way to complement it well, I might actually think Justin Fields' career is going to be extended because of it. Because I'm not on the Justin Fields train where I think that he's going to be this Pro Bowl quarterback after year 4, because it never usually happens in the NFL. So if he can find a way to make it work and he can become their running back, wide receiver, kick returner, punter, I don't know, water boy, I don't know, back massager for Sean Payton, like I'm sure they'll find a way to make him work in any certain situation. And all it costs them is a measly day 3 pick.
Yeah, so I think that's more impactful. So Jerry Jeudy, I'm sorry, but you should have been number 10 on this list, and that's no hate to Jerry Jeudy because you were still the 10th most valuable offseason trade acquisition. So congrats to Jerry Jeudy. We deserve a round of applause for him. You made it at number 3 on this list. I am not sure how. We need to look into how these are ranked here. But that is the 10 most impactful trades. What did you think? Are there any trades that you think Tom Blair missed? Should we send Tom Blair some documents? If so, we'll make sure to keep yours anonymous and give you full credit for it. But yeah, that was